on, singing songs of freedom like why oh yeah, oh you oh I be I be oh you all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more, there'll be no more war, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
Spirituality. Spirituality is a dimension of health that is familiar to many of us. Prayer for some is a spiritual response to a health crisis. It is difficult to pinpoint the connection between a person's spiritual being and their health. Each religious philosophy has its own explanation for how that connection works. But most agree that if we strengthen our spirituality, then we strengthen our health. Whatever your individual philosophies, it is most important that we develop a consistent and motivating spiritual system that allows us to tap into the higher power within us and around us.
I think in terms of how I came to dealing with the spiritual realm of medicine is that I just had to be honest with myself. And I saw, in terms of my own personal and professional development and some of the things I mentioned earlier, I saw miracles happen. And I guess I've always been a very spiritual person in one sense, but in terms of medicine, it was, that was another part of my life. But as I grew and came to see that everything's interconnected, then I couldn't really make that distinction. And I think that in terms of Western physicians, we kind of have to pull them along because ultimately everything is spiritual in our lives. It's just in terms of what our perspective is. We can have a different perspective and say one part is secular and one part is spiritual, but everything is interrelated.
First, we have to separate religion and spiritual growth. People usually look at them as the same thing. They're not. You grow spiritually, whether you are Catholic or Baptist or Methodist or Protestant or Muslim or Jewish, everybody grows spiritually. That's your mission while you're here on the planet, to grow spiritually. Your religion is your methodology and that you may use to get there. And I think that everybody have a religion, whether it's named or non-named, that you have one.
People of African descent are involved spiritually in a way that they are able to have an immune response that surpasses the physical immune response. And this is why hope is so important. And I feel that once a person loses hope, then it's pretty much going to be downhill. And that's why support systems are so important, not only in our community, but in every community.
A study out of Harvard University, of all places, Dr. Herbert Benson, who's a cardiologist, a heart specialist, who's one of the pioneers in terms of documenting some of the changes that happen with the body in terms of what happens with meditation and different emotional states. And he went on to extend his research and found that people who not only practice meditation, but who have a very sound spiritual practice and also practice meditation are even healthier than those who just meditate. So spirituality is very important. I think the lack of it does make people more susceptible. When you feel that you're connected to something aside from this madness in terms of our daily lives, and I'm talking about my experiences, it makes life a little bit more bearable, and you can look at it from a different perspective and say, well, this too shall pass.
What we must return to
is the full appreciation for the full range of energies that exist in the universe, and the necessity to determine ways to harness those energies in a way that can serve us in the most positive kind of way. I think that human beings were given power over the energies of the universe, both visible and invisible. And the degree to which we can begin to reacquaint ourselves with ways of utilizing those energies, I think we are in fact expanding our capacity to not only heal, but to grow and to transform as human beings. And I think the dismissal of those kinds of invisible powers that don't fit into the neat little box of a scientist's laboratory and test tube has in fact made us dismiss tremendous powers that are available to us that we no longer acknowledge and therefore can no longer utilize.